All right, here at the home, just want to walk through real quick what we're looking at as far as the painting goes. So it's going to be a primarily touch-up only on the trim work. So really a lot of where the hardy siding meets the trim board. So like along here, this is where we're going to primarily be looking at as far as where the touch-ups are concerned. But we'll walk through and I'll show you kind of everything that I saw as far as touch-ups being needed. So when we start over here, you know, you've got little stuff like that down at the bottom where we've got a little bit of separation around, and you can see some of that. The front of the home looks in relatively good shape. You've got a little bit right there. We did speak about caulking underneath and around the windows that have wood trim around them. I'll show they're more on the front right side of the home. But just kind of wanted to look through touch up. So you've got a little bit more of that caulking around there, anywhere that we've got joints. So there's a little bit of like peeling and some separation that's going on around here. So you can see it right there. So all the way up. So basically we're checking a lot of these trim board joints. You can see it goes all the way up there, and then your siding joints as well. So the porch looks in relatively good shape. The bottom of these columns here need to be redone. So you've got that right there. So areas like that need to be caulked up. Areas like that as well. You can kind of see how it runs all the way up the side, or at least halfway up the side. Talked about recaulking along this base right here of the window. And there's probably a couple more. It's kind of hard to see from the ground level, but there's a couple more windows that need it done as well. Recaulking areas like this, so right underneath here, and then obviously along here need to be resealed up and touched up. Same thing down here. You've got quite a bit of deterioration down here, so this kind of stuff needs to be taken care of. And then we talked about when we were discussing what was needed. When we do caulk, you're going to caulk over onto the gray siding. So we would have to try and match the gray of the siding. We'll get as close as possible, but it's not going to match 100%. So you're going to have a slight variation between the gray that we would touch up with and the existing gray that's on there. The white shouldn't be an issue. That should blend in pretty well. But the gray is going to look a little different than what it currently is on the home. Again, you've got some touch up on both the trim and the siding, and it kind of runs all the way up, or about halfway up there. So got that there. More substantial over here, and it runs probably 3/4 of the way up there. We would be doing the inside of the porch and the outside of the porch, the trim work. So all the white. Got a board right here that you can see at the top has been separated from the upper portion, this upper trim board. So it needs to be, you can see where the finish nail is cracked. So it needs to be reinstalled. This area right here needs to be recaulked pretty much halfway down the board. And then you can see where the homeowner's done a little bit of caulking there on their own. So again, we need to touch that up. So the inside of the porch here, one thing they pointed out to me would be this board right here, this panel right here. So we talked about shaving this down, epoxying it, just kind of blend it in and make it less noticeable. It's not going to be perfect, but just make it less noticeable than what it currently is. And then you've got a little bit more of that separation on the outside of the back porch, so you can see it right there. And then same thing over here. Got more of that separation. So the back is a lot more faded than what the rest of the house is. So you're going to have probably an even greater distinction between the new paint we put on and the old paint that's currently on there due to the fading. So you've got, this one runs probably 3/4 of the way up as well, all the way along the trim. So you've got quite a bit of that all the way around the home. You can see that. So that's it. We'd basically be touching up the siding and the trim as best we can. Again, siding's not going to match 100%, but the trim color should blend really well. So If you have any other questions, let me know. I'll send this quote over to you here shortly, and I'll be happy to help. Thanks.